Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Urban Woman Tarot. So this is going to be a full moon reading using the Isis Oracle deck. And this full moon starts probably, depending on where you are, could start today and develop into tomorrow. So the full moon is around the 7th. It just depends on where you are. For me, the full moon, it'll be at 100% like here in a few hours. So this full moon is called the flower moon, and then it's in Scorpio. So Scorpio, that is a water element. The ruler of that is Pluto, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Pluto might be in retrograde right now. So the motto here for this full moon, moon pie, stop. Sorry about that. So the motto around this full moon is I desire. So passion, mystery, and drama are all characteristics of the Scorpio that make things fascinating and challenging. This Scorpio is like a deeply sensitive, sometimes can lash out in self-protection if threatened, or withdraw into secretiveness and depression. Scorpio's intense nature also shows in loyalty and love that can go overboard and into obsession if not kept in check. So here's the deal. We're in Scorpio, and then this is a flower moon, and flowers like give birth. They spring forth life. So what is it that you desire? Like what passions, what lies in the depths of your soul that are asking to be brought to life? What things in your shadow are calling out? Some of you, it could be intense, you know. Those things these things have to come out of us for a reason. They have to be acknowledged so that they can be then let go of. If you continue, you really have to face your fears. That's exactly what it is. Facing fears, facing your shadow, facing the unseen. It's like the jaguar, like facing the unknown. Jaguar medicine. No, it's not jaguar, it's Black Panther. Yes, Black Panther. Embracing the unknown, the void, that which you can't see, that which is unseen. These are the things that could be illuminated at this time. What is it that you are scared of? What things within yourself are you afraid of? Face those things, because I'm going to tell you something. They're just fears. They are thoughts. That's it. Nothing more. So once you can start to, especially if you can consistently work on it, then you'll create a habit, a pattern. Once you can start facing these things, standing up to them, being bold, being deep, getting real, you'll see that fear starts to transform and change. Fear starts to lessen. It no longer is fear. It becomes courage, bravery, which all lead to success. So it's start somewhere. Whether you it's kind of like Drake said in that song, I started from the bottom, now I'm here. You got to start somewhere. You can start from the bottom and work your way. But where do you work your way? You work your way up. So, I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread from this deck here. Keep in mind that I had said a while back that I was not sure how long this reading here would last just because these cards here. So I have bay leaves, some sage, some cedar wood, and mugwort. So, you know, I have like this metal little tin thing here, and I just lay them around. I'll tell you that bay leaves, I'll go in like the spice aisle, but my sister used to pick on me until her aunt told her the same thing I did. She was like, boy, you sound just like my sister, because that's what she and I, we don't share the same dad. So anywho, her aunt, like on her dad's side, was like, just go over there to the Hispanic aisle. You'll find it over there. It's like a fourth of the price, and it's a whole lot better quality. And my sister's like, she told me to do the same thing you do. It's over there on the Hispanic aisle. And I'm like, look, girl, okay, I love the Hispanic aisle. Like the international aisle. Well, in my grocery store here at home, we have like a Hispanic aisle. And then there's another aisle where it's the Asian aisle. But man, the Hispanic aisle, they have like all the seasons and the spices, the seasonings and the spices. I don't know what it is about theirs, but I don't know, they're better. I feel like they're better, and they don't cost as much. So I always go look for all my stuff on the Hispanic aisle. And here's what I got. I love this company. This Badia. I love their stuff. Like, that's where I get all of my seasoning from to cook with. So they had this bag of bay leaves. I took this bag, I've taken a few pieces, and I throw them out on the floor around my house. And that repels, like, bugs and spiders, ants, keeps the pest away from trying to take over or come in. And then I also burn them. So, like, for this example, I have quite a few bay leaves in here, and I've got sage thrown in. I get sage sticks and then I take them apart. So I have some to use like on my own. But anywho, I just take this and kind of like, I got a special lighter, you know, it's got the little link thing on it. But, you know, you let it burn, and then once the fire goes out, I don't know if you can see the smoke, but the smoke. And then some people will take like a hawk feather and kind of use the feather to push the smoke. But the smoke is a like natural disinfectant. It cleans the air. It kills certain germs, and I don't know exactly what they are off the top of my head. But I do this in my room daily. And then I try to do it throughout my house. It's a good practice to keep. So, let's go ahead and get this reading started and see what the cards have to say. Alright, go give me a minute to shuffle. Alright, so our situation at hand, wow boy, the Lunar Queen. Woo-hoo! Lord, and at this time too, look how the moon is full behind her. She the celestial crescent. So at this point right now, this is the energy that is floating around among us. Now, these cards, each one of them has like at least probably 2 pages of. Just let me find this card right here real quick. I'll show you. So I'm going to go off my intuition, and then oh, come on now. Okay, so as you'll see, this is like 2 pages, and then you've got these 2. So I'm not going to do this for every card. But for the most part, I'm going to try and keep them simple and short. So there is a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles of rest and replenishment as essential balancing to our actions of power and demonstration. You are asked to allow this replenishment for yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it. Wow, okay. So I'm here is something that I had forgotten to say whenever I first started this video, and that was the thing that has really come up for me. I don't go to church, okay? And I don't watch Joel Osteen religiously, but I do watch Joel Osteen whenever I remember and whenever I feel. And the last time I watched him, everything he spoke about was shift. And I kept thinking, wow, that is like that's it right there. And he kept saying, whatever it is that you want, if it's like abundance, or if you want like whatever your heart's desires, these things that you want to do or you want to see, you've got to shift into those things. So it's like, be the shift into an abundant mindset, shift into being a child of God, shift into knowing that all your needs will be met. So there's that shift, that cycle. And I think like right now, you could be feeling the energies, the pull of the moon, because a lot of times, keep this in mind for yourself, but when it comes to like your women's cycle, when it comes to your sleep, those 2 things right there, okay? You'll notice that for half of the year, because it changes. So 6 months out of the year, your sleep, you'll be able to sleep really good during a new moon, but yet you won't be able to sleep good during a full moon. And that happens about 6 months out of the year, and then there's a shift, it changes, and then it's like the next 6 months, you can't sleep during the new moon, but you can sleep like a baby during the full moon. For like women's menstrual cycles, mine right now are starting with the full moon, but like here in the next couple months, because remember that, it's like a 28-day lunar cycle. So it's like, some months have 31. So that's where there's that shift that comes in where, okay, some, like for right now, like my menstrual cycle, I'm starting on the full moon, but here in a few months, that'll shift, and my menstrual will start coming in on the new moon. So during this time phase right now, you could be on your menstrual cycle. You could not be sleeping that well. And it's because of these full moon, these intense energies that are among us right now. But with these cycles, like, start recognizing within yourself the importance of resting, the importance of having to take in extra water at this time, to having to stay hydrated, the importance of grounding yourself, the importance of saging and burning, and trust in the cycle that it's needed And whenever you feel like, and then when the time has come, then you know, okay, well, you've gotten your replenishment, you've gotten your rest. Now that you've done all this, now you can shift this into something else. So follow the process. Now, our challenge, the portal of light. She glides on wings through time and space. I love this card right here. I mean, I love all of these cards, but this one here where Isis is like reaching out to you to follow her, that one there is a very powerful one. Alright, so it is only this physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are being conscious on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space and to allow your sense of self to expand. It is safe for you to do this now. You will not become ungrounded through spiritual growth. You are not leaving your earthly awareness. You are instead adding to it. So here's a this is a challenge for you. So it could be that, you know, you've had a breakthrough, you've had these insights where you realize you're not who you used to be. Like, things could be, well, I mean, things are changing. Some of these things can have been shocking, uncomfortable, difficult to accept. Here, you can become capable of exerting healing influence beyond time and space, which means being able to help free yourself and others. If you choose to share your healing gifts, you can learn to create freedom from trauma, attachment, history, and any other situation that may drain life force and distract from divine love, no matter whether occurring in this or any lifetime. So she's like, here now, this is a challenge for you. And it is somewhat blocking this here. So it's like, how do you work through this? How do you change this part here? So, you know, this card here brings a special guidance that a phase of time or experience is over and a new cycle is at a higher vibrational turn of the spiral is beginning to start. So prepare to ascend. You know, you may be feeling like you aren't going to be able to, because of the energies right now, move forward or shift into that new experience or how things are going to go. But at this time, you know, there's the seen and then there is the unseen. And the seen part of it is like, we see what's going on. We're able to recognize that right now with this full moon intense energy, there's also like planets in retrograde. There's also this COVID-19 thing. You know, this is a time to sit back and rest. Like, allow ourselves that time so that we can rest. And then, while that's going on, being still and knowing that in the unseen, you know, things are becoming lighter, freer. Things are going to be moving. And the more that you surrender and allow, the more you're going to find peace within yourself as you move and shift through these changes and these experiences. So in the, like, this whole, oh, wow, boy. Look at this. They've got their little bowl here with these incense and things in them, like what I'm doing over here, burning. So, the cartouche, divine names of power. Let me see. I'm just going to leave this right here for now, okay? Until I probably should have messed with my Okay, here we go. Lady Isis initiates you now into her special mysteries, the use of sacred innotations. The words that you speak are rapidly gaining power. To benefit from this power rather than be undermined or held back by it, practice thoughtful speech and clear your heart of old unforgiveness, which can poison your words unintentionally. As your heart grows in purity, you will be able to speak with spiritual authority, and what you speak of will come into being more swiftly and obviously. Isis is initiating you as a master healer in her sacred tradition of divine names of power. So, now I don't know how my situation is going to, I guess, flow with yours, but for me, this is an example of what I mean by this card, because this card here speaks of your words, like creating, regardless of what your beliefs or how you practice, your word, like the magician within, the witch within, the sorcerer within, however you see yourself, or knowing that you are a child of the Most High. Whatever that is. Like your spiritual beliefs, your spiritual practice is what has gotten you to where you are now. So I know for myself, I'm going to tell you, okay, straight up, January, February, I was for real like, oh my gosh, I want to go back to a time when I worked from home and I could sit home and be home and chill and not work so hard, when things were just easier. And guess what? That's this card right here. Okay, and as you can see now, well, yeah, I'm at home now. Well, we in COVID-19. It's almost like, I feel like this COVID-19 has almost been an answered prayer for me, because it has really put me exactly where I kept saying I wanted to be. Now, please, because I know that with this COVID-19 has also come a lot of deaths. There's also been a lot of, like, fear, scarcity, like not sure. But the thing is like every person on the entire planet has been affected by this, and I have seen so much good. I mean, even the news has changed. Okay, I used to sit there and holler at the TV, holler at the news people, when the hell are y'all gonna start talking about the good in the world? I'm so tired of hearing about the bad. I want to see the good. Well, guess what, boy? When I turn on the news now, that's all I see and hear. It's like all these good things, all how people are coming together, the things that people are doing that they didn't report before. You know, even the news has shifted. And I'm like, praise God, because that's what I've been asking for. There it is. You know, we are shifting into a new era. Like, things how we thought they once were are no longer. Things have changed. And it's like now in that change, how can you rise up and keep flowing and moving with the change? Be the change, like shift into that. And then also too, while you're doing it, how can you help other or inspire others along the way to continue to keep up the momentum of shifting and moving, instead of saying, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this, and then don't follow through or fall back to the wayside. So it's like, how can you be an inspiration to those around you to help them keep it going, not to let it go, or to get, you know, things happen that then kind of, like, things happen in life, and I know life happens. Things happen in life that throw you off kilter or throw you off your course or your path or get you sidetracked. So it is because of these things here that have put us into this momentum here now. Oh, wow. So in the past, we had Lady of the Stars, Priestess of Sirius. I've not ever seen this card before, out of all the times I've worked in that one. Alright, so this is Lady of the Stars. Okay, so I went way past that. I wish, and I love this deck. This deck here is amazing, but I wish that she would have done the pages a little bit different, because the page, like the card titles where they begin, are hard to find. Alright, so Sirius is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom at an extremely high vibration. It brings deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and a high capacity of divine service. Lady of the Stars is also an empowerment of all other oracles in this deck. She tells you to pay attention because something significant is taking place right now. Wow. This is in the past. So, something in the past either said, hey, something's getting ready to happen. Your intuition kicked in. You had new psychic insights. I mean, where I live, it was for like a few years. You could walk out at nighttime and look straight out the front door and you could see the planet Jupiter. But now, that one has moved, and you could see Sirius off to the back left. And now Jupiter has moved. I haven't seen Jupiter like at nighttime. Now I see Venus. But like Sirius had disappeared for a minute and I couldn't find it. Well, now like I found it. It's starting to show itself like over to the far left a little bit. But you know, like I kept walking around for a little bit, like, where is Sirius? Like, I didn't feel comfortable not knowing where Sirius was, because Sirius, I meditate upon Sirius at night, the star, and because I've read that that's how you get downloads of information. So and when you look at Sirius, there's like three like twinkles. There's a red, a white, and then a blue flash. So it's like red flash, white flash, blue flash, like it, and it repeats. That's how I know that I have found Sirius, because of that color change. So you could have been working with Sirius, the dog star. You could have. Or you could have just intuitively known something was coming. Like, I kind of felt something was coming, a change, some way, shape, or form. I didn't know exactly what it was. And I also did not know either that it was going to be this right here. I kept thinking, and, you know, I've even looked back at my yearly reading. And, like, I watched it again today. And it's like March, April, and May that there was that change. We had the 5 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles, and I kept talking about how there was some change in our finances, some type of event that changed it. And it was like, now looking back, I'm like, yes, now I see exactly where this change has come in. So, you know, it could definitely be that you have, and plus with this full moon, I mean, there's a lot of illumination. You could be having these psychic or intuitive insights or hits where you're like, man, I said that like a few months ago, and now here it is. You're starting to realize the power of your words and your thoughts, or even like the power of your power as a creator. Now in the present, oh wow, wow, okay. So right now we have initiation, like spiritual testing of Ra and the Lady Isis. Wow. Okay. I'm going to lay this right here for now. Here, I'll move it down so I can read this. Okay, here we go. So this is what's going on now currently. When you are being spiritually initiated into the mysteries of light, love, and power, there are moments of deep challenge. The key is to find the light within the challenge, the learning, growth, or wisdom that can be summoned to turn the challenge into an opportunity for healing. Whilst the scorching heat of Ra seeks to burn through any resistance, the Lady Isis with compassion and cleverness will protect you from burning. Instead, enable you to be nourished and grow from the light of Ra. Let Isis help you pass the test of intense growth as you thrive with new life. So there is intense growth going on right now. Like, especially with this moon and then this situation we got going on, there is intense growth for everyone involved. What we're moving to in the future, stay true and be in your power. Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of divine authority. So it's like, even after we go through this shift and this change here, and we move through life, this would be like the next 3 days, the next 3 weeks. This is what you're moving into. Staying true to who you are and the changes and it's almost like, don't revert back to your old ways of being. Stay in and embrace, like, stick to this new way. Follow it. You are a sovereign, divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within you. You do not need permission from anyone to be who you are and live your life as you so choose. This is your divine birthright. Guard it as the precious treasure that it is, and remember that you are a divine being. So with this here, like, as this change that we're going through right now, this shift, when we get to where we're going in the next, like, few weeks, if there are people around you that, like, look at you or talk to you like they're trying to, in their mind, talk to you in the way they knew you before. Now you're in a new light. Don't let people, especially because this sometimes can trigger people. And when you know yourself, it's like Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. Like, know yourself. When you know yourself, the only person that can throw you off balance is yourself. So if you can continue to practice and be still and knowing who you are at your core, then it's like someone can throw shade at you, but you don't have to defend that. Like, who cares? When someone can cuss you out, but you can stand there in a state of peace and be like, okay, all right, sorry you feel that way. That's like that's the kind of place where I like to find myself. You know, I don't have to allow someone else's anger or someone else's choice to remain in the old or to be stuck in the ways of old. I'm not going to allow or give away my power or allow them to have the power over me to make me revert back into the old me or the way of old. Like, I stay true to myself. I stay true in my power, in who I am. That's where I find the steadiness, the place that I want to be. So it's like, stay true in these changes that you're going through right now. Don't let people or outside influences sway you from that. Alright, so your advice. Wow. Your advice is power over 7 scorpions. Power to conjure lower vibrational forces. Wow. So that's like, especially coming from this card, lower vibrations. People that are in lower vibrations, yes, of course, like, they'll remain in a lower vibration, even if they're the old them or the new them. I'm hoping and praying that people are, like, rising, they're shifting, they're growing into these new changes, and they'll stay that way and not revert back to the ways of old. So this is your advice. Power over 7 scorpions. All right, here we are. You are being initiated. Here's another initiation card. You're being initiated into the magic of conjuring to have power to affect lower vibrational forces through your own will and spoken word. So we've had 2 cards that talk about initiation, and now this is the second card talking about the words that you speak. You are guided to use this powerful gift with compassion and discernment, with mercy and non-judgment. You can manage any toxicity in your life swiftly and with great effect. Wow. Alright, so I do want to read this part right here because this seems like it's very important. Okay, so Lady Isis teaches us the art of conjuring, of being able to use will and word to gain dominion over lower vibrational energies. We must be careful to use this gift with compassion, respect, and love. Using words with care and firmness will bring great healing into your life. You are guided to become aware of the power of your words and to realize that they are becoming very effective as a healing instrument. The lady was able to cause the poison of 7 scorpions to yield to her healing intent by naming them and dominating their poison. She did so out of compassion to save the life of a young boy. So that would be the little boy there. Wow. Okay. So remember, while you have people around you, your words, like your, and you know, it's like, I've noticed this within myself as well. My words have really brought healing, of course. But it's also like the words of healing that I've used, I have noticed a recognition within the people that my words have brought healing to. I've noticed the recognition, like they themselves recognize, wow, this is where it's at. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. Like, this is the moment. Like, this feeling right here is amazing. And then moving and flowing in that. Like, I've noticed the power of that right there since we've been in this COVID-19 thing. Like, it's been unreal. I've been so grateful for that as well. Alright, so in our environment, we have ancient power mysteries. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. So this is going to be our environment. These can be like the people around you. Yes, so this is everything that's around you right now. Everything in your environment. The rattle of Isis, the sistrum, is playing in the hand of the goddess now. Can you sense it with your inner hearing? Its vibration reaches through your crown chakra and enters your body, initiating you into great ancient power mysteries of sound, creativity, and healing. This is a time when words and music will become increasingly important on your spiritual path and healing journey. That's amazing right there. So it's like, alright, let me read you this part here. When the Lady Isis initiates a beloved into her ancient mysteries, life can become quite interesting. An initiate of Isis does not just learn new ideas as a student, but is thrown into the experience of the mysteries in real day-to-day living, so that they may be truly mastered in our lives and then utilized in service to help the lives of others too, so that one day all beings will be healed and whole according to the will of the divine feminine. So it's like whatever you have going on right now, especially within yourself, those initiation, that initiation that you're going through, you will be, that's going to be a tool. Definitely a tool. Like how you're able to live your day-to-day life, how you've been able to reacclimate yourself to this COVID-19 thing. There is an initiate. You went through an initiation to receive that enlightenment. that enlightenment right there, that new way of being, is not only inspiring other people, it's also healing them. Like the vibration that you've been carrying, that you've been sending out into the world, especially with the people that are around you, it has created a catalyst for healing. Like, you yourself are a healing tool, and it's like, it's spreading. Like, people are absorbing it, they're recognizing it. In your hopes and fears, we have the Eye of Horus, awakening divine perception.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about...
Alright, so the Eye of Horus brings divine perception, protection, and insight. You are gifted with certain spiritual abilities, including divine sight, that are awakening and growing now. You have much divine support and protection so that you may grow your abilities and serve others with your divine gifts. Trust your perception and know that you are divinely protected. So right now, you may have, like, you're hoping. Here's the deal. I mean, you kind of have to use your intuition on this. You either have hopes or you've got fears. So if you have hopes, listen to the hope side. But if you've got fear lingering, pay attention to that part. So you have hope that the thing, especially with this full moon and that card here, like speaking of this full moon, you have hopes that what you are experiencing, what you're seeing, is actually like there. Like, it's actually for real, it's legit, it's happening. You're not just seeing things. Okay? You may also have fear that of the things that you are seeing or hearing or are experiencing right now. This could all be new to you. Definitely, this could be new to you. Like the spiritual realm, the world that encompasses spirituality. And you have to think, with spirituality is like everything combined. It's like an art. You take all the things that speak to you, which for each and every one of us is going to be different. Like, you're going to take people who practice like black magic or voodoo, or have certain like beliefs in other worlds or realms or gods or goddesses. Whatever the things that work for you, you're going to take them and use them. Those things right there can scare some people. But it's like, the thing with spirituality is that you take the things that work for you, you leave the rest behind. Take what works for you and you develop that into your own form, your own prayer, your own practice. Those things become who you are, your essence, yourself. They are your tools. So some of those, I mean, they could definitely, especially if you're new to this, opening up to it, it could be a scary thing. But if you're on the hope side of this, then you're hoping that all this is like legit, that you're seeing it right, you're hearing it right, you're feeling it right, that it's, and seeing is believing. Now, in our outcome, we have Divine Destiny, Path of the Divine Warrior. Oh, here, let me move this down so you can see. So this is our outcome right here. Divine Destiny. Hold on. There's a few divine things here. Okay, here's this one. Spiritual work of the higher initiate. Wow. So you hear that? Spiritual work of the higher initiate. So the divine warrior guides you to your divine destiny. The divine warrior energy exists within men and women as the inner propulsion to continue with the worthy path even during times of difficulty. When faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of him or herself to the cause. It might be more wisdom, focus, intelligence, and surrender into the divine. The warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination. This part of you will lead you to spiritual success. Woo! Alright. So, like just what I was saying, like with the hopes and the fears thing. Like all these things have made you who you are. And it's like everything that we're going through right now, this has really could have been, I mean, Lord, I've been saying for probably like a month, we're moving into like the new golden era. And you know, some people are like, oh, that's not going to happen for like another how many ever years. I feel like we are in the catalyst of that to start happening now. Like we're in the beginning stages. Like people are waking up. You know, my one friend said to me, she's very spiritual as well. Our paths crossed about 10 years ago, and we've been friends ever since. But she said there's still a few people out here who aren't awake. Like I see them. It's like I saw this woman riding down in her car with her mask on. Like, are you scared you're going to get yourself sick? And I'm like, girl. She's like, these people need to wake up. And I'm like, girl, we got to have contrast, okay? We've got to have some, like, not everyone is going to wake up. You can't save everybody, okay? The ones that will wake up, those are the ones who are chosen. They are called. You have to, rest and be still and know that it will happen. You can't force it upon somebody. And plus, like, we need the contrast. You have to have the contrast. Like, in all that you do, and everything that you do, and everything that you ask for, everything comes with contrast. You can't, like, if you can train yourself to embrace and to love the contrast, it's like Abraham Hicks said, like a dog, for example, when they get in the car to go for a ride, they love the ride so much. They'll put their head out the window, their lips are flapping, they get bugs in their face and their teeth. They don't care about none of that because they know that's the contrast. That's what goes along for the ride. They wanted the ride. They embraced the ride. They love the ride. They love it so much that they love those flies that get in their teeth. That's the contrast. You have to have contrast. Love the contrast. We have to have sheep. We have to have people that are asleep. That's the contrast. Acknowledge it. Know it's there. But don't let it hinder you. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it hold you back. Awareness is everything. Being aware that something there, it's there. Okay. It's right there. It will be right there. You can always maneuver around. You can look at it. You can talk to it. Doesn't mean that you have to become it. So know that all this that we've been going through here has really strengthened us within ourselves. Everything starts within. All the answers you need, anybody for that matter, they come from within. Ask and you shall receive. Like, if you want to know, start digging deep within yourself. And especially during this full moon, because this full moon is going to, for real, awaken, illuminate, I would say, some deep truths. And for some of them and for some of you, those are truths that have been bottled up and maybe shoved down for a long time. But I'm telling you, like, now is the time for them to come to the surface, to get illuminated. So it's like, when they come to the surface and get illuminated, how can you process it and release it? How can you let it go? Don't let it continually pop back up and slap you around and be like, nah, I'm here, I ain't going nowhere. Okay? Make sure you stay above it and don't let it get the best of you. Face your fears. You have more strength within you than you, I think, believe. Maybe even know. Alright, so I thank you all. Feel free to leave your comments, and I will see you all again here soon. Take care. Namaste.